I have the Alienware 17 R5 with the 3D 120Hz display option, and there are no included integrated graphics with this display option. As a result, NVIDIA Optimus power saving technology is disabled. You can see in the BIOS screen that there are no integrated graphics detected. This laptop does have the integrated/discrete graphics button, and when I unplug the power, I get a message telling me that I should switch to integrated graphics to increase battery life. It also tells me that I can do this by holding the function button and pressing F5, and then rebooting. However, when I hold function and press F5, I get another message that says my graphics settings are already optimized. Also, when I go into Device Manager, I can see no graphics hardware other than the installed GTX 780M. Additionally, I downloaded the driver from Dell for the integrated graphics, and when I tried to install it, it tells me that this computer does not meet the minimum requirements for installing the software. And finally, I have seen a problem in previous Alienware laptops where your laptop restricts you to integrated graphics, and this can be fixed in BIOS settings by changing a graphics setting from disable to hybrid. However, in the advanced section of BIOS, there are no graphics settings, and there aren't any within the performance option either, except to change the voltage of the video card. So, why are there no integrated graphics installed on this computer? The processor installed in this computer is the Intel Haswell i7 4800MQ, which includes Intel HD Graphics 4600, so this computer should have Intel's integrated graphics. So, why doesn't it? It's actually because of the 3D 120Hz display. One of the key aspects of NVIDIA's Optimus technology is that the display is routed through the integrated graphics processor. This is because Optimus technology always uses the internal graphics processor's display output controller. So, when Optimus turns the discrete graphics off, the integrated graphics is on. When Optimus turns the discrete graphics on, the integrated graphics is basically off, but the integrated output controller is still being used. This is not possible, however, with the 3D 120Hz screen, because the Intel integrated graphics is only capable of an output of 60 Hz. The 3D 120Hz screen cannot run at 60 Hz without a driver, and only the NVIDIA graphics card has the microcoding necessary to run at 120 Hz without a driver. Therefore, the 120 Hz display must be directly connected to the discrete graphics card. With the display connected directly to the discrete graphics card, the graphics card cannot be disabled and the integrated graphics cannot output to the display. One statement from NVIDIA says that all of NVIDIA's current notebook GPUs support Optimus technology. However, the choice to implement Optimus technology is up to the vendor. Also, Dell and Alienware have made a statement saying, currently, the 120Hz panel is tied to the NVIDIA 3D Vision enabled SKU, which does not support Optimus. You must choose a 60Hz panel to get Optimus. The absence of Optimus on the 120Hz 3D stereo configuration is an NVIDIA-imposed restriction. It is not something Dell chose or desired. We tried hard to get NVIDIA to support this, but it was not possible for NVIDIA to overcome the technical challenges. Dell and Alienware seem to be blaming NVIDIA for the absence of Optimus with the 3D panel, but I think that this problem wouldn't exist if the 3D screen had a native refresh rate of 60 Hz and could operate at 60 Hz without a driver, or if the Intel integrated graphics could operate at 120 Hz. So, both Optimus and integrated graphics are disabled on my Alienware 17 because I have the 3D 120Hz screen, which needs to be plugged right into the discrete graphics display port and cannot be plugged into the integrated graphics display controller. This means that my computer will have a shorter battery life than it would if it had Optimus and the ability to switch to integrated graphics. But I'm okay with that because I rarely need to use the battery. But you should think about which is more important to you before getting the 3D screen, 3D and 120Hz capability or battery life. And one last note, the screen can be set to 60 Hz. For more information, you can check out the link in the description, which is where I got this information about Optimus and the 120Hz display.